Okay, excellent. Okay, that shows we are all muted. See if we can keep us that way. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilborn. I want to welcome you to today's session of How to Make Money Trading Stocks. And weekly, this is our live stream. I've got Steve Ferreira joining us from Hawaii. Steve, let me get you unmuted so you can say hi.
Hi all, aloha.
Aloha. And we are also streaming. I want to welcome everybody who is with us, joining us on our YouTube stream. Again, I'm just to let you know, I am working with only a single computer with no multiple screens. And so if you do have a question to ask or whatever, go ahead and just chat it across to me. I will be checking the chat as we go. Again, this is going to be a very quick and dirty, about 15 minutes worth of what's going on with the markets and what we're looking forward to next week. And then some insight from Steve on whether or not he has any specific stocks that he's really interested in. So, get rid of at all times, be discerning and wary what you are rehearsing, because we're either rehearsing good habits or bad habits. It's telling me my internet state. So I want to remind everybody that all the materials presented are for learning, for trading purposes only. Traders should always paper trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. So as we finish up the week, most of you know I was in California most of the week before last due to a death in the family. I'm currently sitting in Paragould, Arkansas, helping my mom move into a long-term care residence back here. So it's been a little bit of hectic for me watching the markets, but I have been paying attention to see where the markets go. We are pushing up towards new highs. What I'm looking for next week, holiday market tends to be a volatile time. So working through Thanksgiving, look for some volatility. I believe the day after Thanksgiving on Black Friday will be a half day if it keeps half day in the market. I will not be having a webinar that day on Black Friday. We will get kicked off back again on the, I want to say the 6th of December when I am back in Hawaii. And we'll be glad to get there. So what I'm looking at, the most ideal setup for the, would be a pullback to the 20, the 50-day moving average on the indexes, and then we could plan something from that. As usual, the Russell is our lagger, and the Nasdaq and the S&P are our winners right now. So moving forward, so let's take a look at what else we have to look at. So as I show, Nasdaq 100 tends to catch a bid October, November, December. We are almost at the end of November. We did get a little bit of a bid in Nasdaq. However, with the IWM or the Russell, it did kind of go sideways October, November, even slightly down. We'll take a look at their individual charts. We're honing in on, are we going to get any kind of a spurt at the end of the year for a Santa Claus rally? We shall see. Right now, we are doing okay for the year. Active trend trading up about 29%. The Nasdaq is up 30.47. Russell up almost a little bit over 17%. But as you can see, still down since from last year's high of 2018. So the thing about it is, we've thrown a party for the market. The market has been rallying, and the S&P, and the Nasdaq's been doing awesome. The Russell's been the lagger in the entities that we track. Before we get over to the charts again, remember, I did not get the Power Rank Elite list out last weekend just due to traveling situations and what we had going on Thursday, Friday and Saturday of last week. This will be put out this week for sure, and it'll be posted to the website. And so let's get a look at the indexes and see what they're doing. There we go. Okay, let's dig into the Nasdaq or the indexes. ETFs are they basically showing us moving into this weekend is basically we've got we pushed up on here was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We have pulled back into the 8-day moving average, and as I said earlier, what I would like to see to trigger a healthier pullback, this is what I'm looking at, is I'd really like to see a pullback all the way back into the 20 or even the 50-day moving average at this breakout level of about 302, 303 level, and then rebound from there going into the year. However, the markets are going to do what the markets want to do. So we may basically just be stuck right here. With the TSI pointed down on a daily chart, and I would tend to want to wait until, like I said, we may trigger something off in the middle there. So I'll put in there 308.75 for or 309 for a potential alert to say, stand by, you could get a trade in that area. We look over here at the, let's see if I can see that. Let me see if I can jump the. There we go. Yeah, just put this on. As you can see, weekly chart. Bearish Harami on the spiders. Still pushing up to new highs. Broke out of that expanding megaphone top. However, that's run a little bit too far too fast, and it's really looking like, hey, we may be approaching a level where we'd want to do a pullback. Haven't made it there yet. Qs. Qs again. Bearish Harami on the weekly chart. Or a pullback down into support at about 200 to 201. Looks like we want to fall a little bit more. Support wise, I like, this gap between the 50 and the 20. So if it gets down to, let's say, 197.61, that's where the Qs could be interesting for a longer term trade. IWM, I am currently short a position with IWM. I bought the, I think it was the 160 puts and sold the 155 puts with the expectation we were going to move down to here to keep up with what it had done previously. As you can see, in the past, we got up towards this resistance area about the 159, 160 level. Then we rolled over. We are working on our fourth, into our third week. We're just kind of drilling sideways. We did that once before back in the July timeframe. We drove sideways for about 4 weeks and finally broke to the downside. Longer term weeklies, the TSI has not turned over yet. The TSI on the daily chart, of course, did turn over. It's hanging there pretty tough, right there with support at the 20-day moving average, but no real short-term trigger to trigger us back into a long trade yet. So what am I looking for? Again, back down, running back down here at about 156 level. That would be a great place to entertain a potential bounce trade from there. So, Steve, that's kind of all I have to look at. Let me go back over here and find, there we go. Let me find where you're at. And I'm going to, you tell me what stocks you want to look at.
Okay. I really don't have a stock for today, but I have one I'm stalking. I think is a potential entry on Monday. And this would be NMIH.
And in November, Mike,
November, right.
India
IH. Got it.
Hotel. Okay, tell us what you're going to do. Okay, I've got the
Okay.
daily chart on the right,
And
the weekly chart on the left.
although I lean bullish right now in the market because the low from 2 days ago has not been exceeded.
Right.
So I will take bullish trades, but because I think the market is a little uncertain, it could certainly could break down lower, like you point out.
Right.
I would entertain a half position at this point in any new trade. And I like NMIH. Today's action is fairly bullish, although we're weakening into the close.
Right.
And it has what you call the 8 EMA entry. We've just broken back above the 8 today. Provided we close above the 8, Monday somewhere near the moving average, the 8 moving average, the 8 EMA would be an entry. And I would go in with a half position.
Okay, awesome. And so, yeah, on the flip side of what Steve's talking about, this looks like a really excellent area to get into the trade. I kind of like this more towards this gap between the 20 and the 8, and that's okay. They're both work, but that looks like a good level of support, about 32 bucks.
Yeah, and another caveat would be if the SPY would break below Wednesday's low, I would not take this trade. Yeah.
Okay. Now you mentioned another stock that I was really kind of impressed with when we talked earlier. I don't. It's a tricky one, but it's almost ready to buy right now.
Correct. It could be. It depends on your style as a trader. For me, it's a little bit gone already, but on any kind of a pullback, I would certainly be interested in a long trade.
Okay. And
any weakness to the 8 EMA. Yeah.
Okay. And so, yeah, what it's doing right now, guys, it's this is JP Morgan. It's bouncing off the 8. It's respecting the 8. It doesn't move a lot. And so what I was thinking about potentially doing is I could stretch this out and say, okay, from this low to this high is about, let me get a number here, Steve. That is about $7, okay? So if I go $7 from this low to this, and move it up from this low and go another $7, or $7, about right there, about 135, right? Correct. So that gives me about a $4 swing. And so I'm sitting there going, I would want to take a look at the intraday chart, but this might lend itself where you could come in and buy the 130 call for a move up, what is 135? Because I'll bet you the 130 call right now is out about, I'd give it, 2 to 3, maybe 4 weeks out, and to buy it and just give you a picture of how much would that be. What would be the value of that puppy right now? Let's go over here. JP Morgan, going out to December 20th, and just buy the 130. Give you an idea, 130. I mean, it's almost a 60 delta, and it's going for about $3, 310. Let's say 310 to 305. And so at a 60 delta, if it runs up another $4, that's 4 times
$2.5, about $2.5.
Yeah, about $2.5. And so that, if you wanted to trade that, from the low to high, that would be a good way to do it, rather than, because you could buy, you could buy just 2 or 3 or 4 of these 130 call credits, call, and that's out here. If it drops, down to like below, I think it's 1. Let's see. If it dropped down below 128.50, you would just say, hey, I'm out of this trade, and you wouldn't be out that much. But this would be an excellent opportunity to say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and jump on this. If it goes up and hits 135 over the next, about 4 weeks, it would give you a nice little Christmas present. You could take your wife Christmas shopping. How's that?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, when you mentioned that, that's what that's when I kind of jumped on and said, yeah. And if you didn't want to expend $3, you go out here and say, hey, I'll buy the $3 call for $3, and I'm going to go up here and sell the 135 call for, like in this case, almost a little bit over 78 cents. And so you've got $2.20 in the trade, with the opportunity to earn fives or turn a profit of about $3.20-30. So that's another way to reduce your risk and be able to do that trade. So anyway, okay, I wanted to leave you with that. Any Steve, thanks, man. Anything else really quick on anything other?
Not, that's it.
Okay, then I'll go back and finish up. So hey, remember, if you are not a premium member of Active Trend Trading, you stand by. I'm going to be doing a special offer for that next week. Prior to it's kind of a Thanksgiving special that will run probably into December, because we're doing some restructuring of memberships, offering some really neat things coming up in the new year. But I want to give people an opportunity to tie in any pricing before the pricing changes take place. Tie them up in the December timeframe. So, hey, if you need a speaker for your group, I can customize meetings via webinar in person for you. December 7th is our next BAM meeting. I'll be talking about profitable income strategies to take into the new year. And right now, some of our my personal items have delayed my putting out the swing trade secrets, but I'm sure you understand why. So if you haven't found it yet, take a look on Amazon for the trade journal, trading log for active trend trading. This is 160 pages. It comes two sizes, a mini one, both still have 160 pages. It has the same thing inside, and then an 8.5 by 11. Really excellent. I think some of the folks already have one of these, and so from let's see, yeah, if you have one and you're using it, any comments on it? Boy, that's dangerous, huh? Okay, thanks, Rocco. Cool. And so, yeah, just it's I think it's about $15 or so through Amazon, and I think Amazon eventually they're going to get it where you can take a look at the inside of the journal. It is not just line journals. It is full of really good stuff from the aspect of trading plans and that type of thing. So, with that, then I am going to get over here. I think that takes us to the end of today. I wanted to encourage everybody, hey, keep the egg growing. 2019 has been a very good year. We want to continue pushing the rock up the hill through the end of the year. If you are a premium member, remember we will be, I've got multiple trades to talk about at the final hour. This is for premium members that I'm looking at, and we'll actually, I think, enter some trades on a couple of the stocks and ETFs we're watching during the final hour. So until next time, which will be when I am back in Hawaii, aloha, trade well and prosper. Have a great weekend. And in honor of my Southern heritage, have a great weekend, y'all. So Steve, thanks for joining us, man.
You're welcome.
Always a privilege.
Bye.
And so for everybody else, have a wonderful weekend and also have a great Thanksgiving next week. And so with that, aloha, God bless.